Have you ever felt as if a place was calling to you, not with words, but with a hush of sound so soft it seemed woven into the night itself? Somewhere far beyond the noise of the world, there is a forest that whispers. Its voice is carried on the rustle of emerald leaves, in the slow sway of towering trees, and in the secret songs of night birds. They say that if you step quietly into that forest, its magic will wrap around you like a soft blanket, leading you gently toward the kind of peace only dreams can offer. This is no ordinary place. The whispering forest exists somewhere between waking and sleeping, where time does not press on you, and where every sound seems designed to cradle you. Each falling leaf, each flutter of wings overhead, seems to brush away another layer of worry. Within this quiet, the boundaries between the day and your slumber begin to blur, and soon it will be impossible to tell where thought ends and dreams begin. And so, dear dreamer, tonight's journey begins with a single simple step. You will wander beneath ancient trees whose roots are deep in the old earth and whose branches reach high into the canopy of stars. You will hear the hush of water moving gently in the distance, like the rhythm of breath that steadies and soothes you. Every moment in this sacred place draws you deeper and deeper into soft stillness. I am Emma, your storyteller for tonight, and this is Sleeping Therapy by Emma. If you find comfort in these gentle night journeys, I welcome you to join me here each time you need peace, each time sleep feels far away. Subscribing ensures you always have a restful story at hand, ready to cradle you back into the serenity you deserve. So now, close your eyes and let the sounds of the forest come alive in your mind. Hear the leaves whisper to one another. Watch the stars wink between the treetops. And feel yourself walking into a world where there is nothing to do but let go. Into rest, into stillness, into the gentle arms of the whispering forest of dreams. It begins with a single step. The day has finally slipped away, ushered out by the softest of sunsets and the hushed sigh of dusk. Colors that once flared in radiant gold and fiery crimson have settled into velvet shades of indigo and lavender. Overhead, the first stars timidly emerge, uncertain at first, as though peeking out to see if the world is ready for their glow. The earth itself seems to exhale, releasing the heat of the day from its skin, and what remains is a coolness that strokes tenderly across your cheek. Your shoes pause on the edge of the world, you know. Behind you lies the day, its noise, its demands, the endless hum of thoughts. Ahead of you, just beyond a thin veil of twilight, stands an arch of trees unlike any others you've seen. They lean gracefully toward one another across the path, their branches entwined above to form a living doorway. This is where the whispering forest begins. The arch doesn't blaze with grandeur. Its power is softer than that, patient and quiet, like the comfort of a beloved hand resting on your shoulder. The trees themselves seem to breathe faintly, their bark alive with shadows and moonlight. As you gaze into the opening, the world beyond looks different. The air glows faintly silvery and golden, as though curtain after curtain of dreams has been draped inside this forest, waiting for you. A sudden awareness rises in you. Here, nothing will chase you. Here, no task can infiltrate. Once you step beneath this archway, the world you leave behind cannot follow. Your feet shift slightly, and you feel the soft earth give beneath them. The choice feels natural, inevitable. The forest eisen calling urgently, iptosen. To demand, but its invitation hums through your bones like a melody you half remember. And so you take that step. The shift is instant. The air changes. It becomes weightless, gentler, as if the forest has pressed its cool palm against your racing mind and whispered hush. You breathe in, and the scent greets you. Rich earth, moss kissed by dew, pine needles laced with moonlight, and something sweeter, something that smells of dreams themselves. It fills your chest with ease, stretching your breath as though you've forgotten, until now, what true breathing feels like. Beneath your feet, the ground is soft by moss and fallen leaves, forming a cushioned carpet. Each step sinks lightly into it, muffled and soft. It's as if the entire floor of the world has been quilted just for tired wanderers. The forest path winds forward, coaxing you deeper with its promise of stillness. Fireflies blink softly through the dusk, little lanterns suspended like living stars. They appear in pairs, then trios, until the airhead is twinkling with tiny constellations that drift just close enough to follow. You pause briefly, turning your gaze upward. Through the canopy above, fragments of the sky peek through. The branches sketch lace-like patterns over the face of the heavens, and the stars beyond wink playfully between the leaves. A gentle breeze moves through the forest, rustling the canopy into a hush so steady that it resembles the ocean's faraway rhythm. It's a sound that carries itself into you, waves of quiet washing over thought, over worry, over noise. Somewhere deeper ahead, an owl calls out its low and mournful hoot, but the sound holds no sadness. It is steady, calm, full of assurance. I am here too, the owl seems to say. You are not alone. Follow without fear. Its voice echoes across the trees, weaving itself into the whisper of the leaves, the flicker of the fireflies, and the softness of the moss beneath you. The entire forest appears to speak one language of reassurance, each element telling you the same truth. You are safe here. You begin to walk again, unhurried. With every step, the worries of the world trail further behind. It feels as though each footfall lifts a tiny weight off your chest, placing it gently onto the forest floor where it dissolves, returning to the soil. Memories of your day float up casually rushed errands, unfinished thoughts, words replayed again and again. Yet here, in this hush, even those memories are gentle. They drift in only to dissolve into the chorus of crickets and the quiet stirring of the breeze. You don't cling to them and you don't resist them. You let them go as easily as exhaling. On either side of the path, ferns rise tall, their delicate fronds swaying gracefully in the faint wind. They brush lightly as you pass, as if acknowledging your presence with a tender bow. Their rhythmic swaying mirrors your breathing, an inhale with their rising, an exhale with their falling. The deeper you go, the less it feels like walking through a forest, and the more it feels like walking gently into a dream that has always been waiting for you. The deeper your senses adjust, the more alive the forest becomes. A chorus of tiny insects hums faintly from hidden corners, their rhythm steady, hypnotic like a soft percussion section setting the pace of the night. The crickets chime higher, steady and continuous, weaving into the hum. Occasionally, the flutter of unseen wings whispers close, reminding you of the small, forgotten wonders of night. Above all of it is the hush of the trees, so vast and omnipresent that it feels as if the entire forest breathes together in one slow, steady rhythm. You pause once more on the path, standing silently with your eyes closed. Here, silence is never empty. It is rich, alive, as though it is holding you. You breathe in again, long, slow, deliberate. With each breath, something uncoils inside you. Every knot in your body, your shoulders, your chest, the muscles in your face gives a little sigh of surrender. This place is not pressing you forward, nor holding you back. It is simply lifting you, cradling you, asking nothing but your willingness to let go. Ahead, you catch the first glimpse of light, just barely glowing between the trees. Not the blaze of fire or the bite of torchlight, but something gentler, fainter than dawn, warmer than moonlight. It pulses softly as if it too is alive, breathing. Curiosity stirs within you, but it's a gentle curiosity, the kind that causes no scattered thoughts, only a forward pull of wonder. Perhaps this light is leading you toward the deeper heart of the whispering forest. Perhaps it will reveal something you had forgotten you needed, but were always meant to find. You allow your steps to move steadily toward it. With every stride, your body feels lighter, as though not just your weight, but your thoughts too, are being laid to rest. And even if you do not yet know what awaits, you sense that the forest does. It already knows the rest you carry, the burdens you wish to set down. Ahead, the glow beckons quietly, not with urgency, but with welcome. And so you follow deeper into the hush, deeper into the cradle. The glow grows brighter as you approach, yet never harsh. It unfolds gently, like a lantern slowly uncovered, revealing only as much as you are ready to see. The path bends toward it with a kind of quiet inevitability, as though every step has been leading you here. And then you emerge into a clearing. The whispering forest pulls back its curtain of trees, giving way to an open circle bathed in silvery shadow and the warm golden shimmer of the glow. At the center of this clearing rises a tree unlike any other you have ever seen. It is vast, soaring higher than the tallest of pines, its branches unfurling outward like arms stretched wide in infinite welcome. Its trunk is immense, thick with age and wisdom, wrapped in bark, grooved into spirals and waves, as though time itself has written across it. The source of the glow becomes clear now. From the branches of this great ancient tree hang clusters of luminous blossoms. They spill down like delicate lanterns woven between leaves, glowing softly from within. Some are pale white, shimmering like moonlight caught in a petal. Others flicker golden, as though they have held fragments of the sun long after it set. Together, they bathe the clearing in a light that is both soothing and alive. Stepping into the clearing, you feel the ground beneath change. The forest moss spreads thick and deep here, so velvety soft beneath your feet, it is almost as if you've stepped onto the surface of some enormous pillow. You pause, sinking slightly into the cushion of living green, and realize for the first time how tired your legs are. The moss seems to know this, supporting you tenderly, easing the strain, telling your body in no uncertain terms it can rest here. The air in the clearing is rich with perfume from the blossoms. It is a fragrance unlike any candle or flower you could put a name to. There's a faint sweetness, perhaps like honey warmed by the sun, blended with the crisp freshness of rain not long past, yet layered with something deeper, unnameable, that fills the soul more than the nose. Breathing it in, you feel your chest expand freely, ribs loosening as if sighing with relief. Drawn closer, you approach the base of the glowing tree. Roots coil outward from its trunk, large, smooth roots, fanning like great arms resting across the moss. They wind and curve gently, forming natural seats and alcoves, as though inviting wanderers to pause. One seems to form a perfect cradle, half-circle in shape, lined with thick moss that has grown soft upon it over countless ages. You reach out toward the trunk. Your fingertips rest against its bark, and instantly there is a hum, subtle but certain. Not heat, not vibration, something in between. A pulse, steady and calm, like the heartbeat of the forest itself housed in this single tree. Your hand lingers against it longer, and you realize the hum matches your own heartbeat. Slowly, your pulse begins to align with the tree's rhythm, slower, steadier, calmer. There is a sense impossible to articulate that this tree is alive in a way different from ordinary trees. Not just alive with water rising in veins, but alive with age, with wisdom, with presence. It has stood through countless dawns and endless storms. It has listened to the whispers of every wind, the footsteps of every creature brave enough to approach. And now it listens to you, not with ears, but with something greater. A breeze ripples through the blossoms high above, and the entire clearing seems to sparkle with shifting light. You glance upward. Every movement of the branches stirs little cascades of golden luminescence. Tiny petals fall from the blossoms, drifting gracefully downward like fragments of starlight. They fall around you, brushing your shoulders, collecting in your hair, scattering over the moss in glimmers. One petal lands softly on the back of your hand, and as it touches your skin, it dissolves, slipping into your flesh like water sliding through sand. For a moment, warmth spreads up your arm, into your chest, into your heart. You lower yourself carefully onto one of the great roots, sinking into the moss-lined curve. It embraces your body instantly, molding to every contour until you feel as if you are lying in a nest created just for you. The roots hum faintly beneath your back, the earth itself alive. The moss cushions you, soft against your skin, spreading warmth upward. Above, the blossoms sway and glow, spilling down their radiance like an endless lullaby of light. And then from somewhere high in the branches, a song begins. It comes first as a single note light, trembling, beautiful. A nightingale hidden among the branches has awoken, and her voice fills the clearing. She sings in rising and falling cadences, weaving delicate threads of sound that shimmer almost visibly through the air. Each note is silver and clear, each phrase a gentle invitation. You feel her song not just with your ears, but with your whole being. It resonates in your chest, rolls gently through your stomach, settles within your bones. Other voices join her. The owl calls again, low and steady, anchoring her melody with a background of earth-deep tones. The soft hum of insects swells faintly around, providing a rhythm. The breeze through the blossoms plays like strings, brushing quiet harmonies between each phrase. All of nature is not only listening, it is performing a concert for sleep, for peace, for the release of all struggle. The longer you lie beneath this living canopy of light and sound, the more the weight of wakefulness loosens inside you. Thoughts appear, but more slowly, softer, dissolving before they settle. The story of your day unravels thread by thread, slipping off into the moss like discarded garments. What remains is only stillness, cradled in sound and light. You close your eyes, though the blossom's glow paints colors across the inside of your lids, pale golds, gentle silvers. Breath begins to guide itself. A long inhale, filling every corner of your lungs with cool, perfumed air. A slow exhale, emptying guilt, rushing, noise sending them outward into the patient soil. Again, inhale. Again, exhale. Breath becomes all there is. And in that rhythm, you feel the forest speaking not with words, but with presence. Every flicker of firefly, every sway of fern, every falling petal seems to murmur the same wisdom. Rest. You have done enough. You are enough. Here, you may release. Your body grows heavier in the moss, yet not weighed down held. Tenderly, as if the world itself has arms wrapped around you. Slowly, your awareness begins to blur along its edges. The blossoms above grow hazier. The birdsong stretches longer between notes. Around you, the very air hums soft with slumber. The forest is offering not simply a chair to sit, not simply a bed to lie upon. It offers itself as a lullaby, vast and gentle, patient and eternal. And as you drift, you know one thing with certainty: this is only the threshold, the gateway to something deeper. The whispering forest holds countless more paths, countless more wonders, countless more dreams yet unwoven. But tonight, here in its glowing heart, you are safe, you are held, you are already beginning to dream. The great glowing tree slowly recedes behind you as you rise from the mossy cradle where you rested. Its blossoms still shimmer warmly in the clearing, but their golden glow fades softly into distance as you drift down the path once more. The air cools gently as you walk. Your body feels lighter than before, as though you have been lifted, smoothed of tension, made ready for the next step of the journey. Ahead, the path narrows into a tunnel of willows. Their long green tendrils hang like curtains trailing across your shoulders as you pass. Each soft brush against your skin feels deliberate, almost like the comforting touch of someone tucking you in at night. Beneath the willows, the atmosphere is hushed even more deeply. Crickets murmur faintly but slow their rhythm here, as though lowering their volume with respect for this quiet corridor. The scent in the air shifts too. You notice the freshness of water carried on the breeze, cool and clear. Beneath it, the faint earthy perfume of river stones wet with dew. The sounds grow gradually, the faint burble of water moving like a distant voice humming patiently in the background. Step by step, you realize the forest is leading you to a river, but this is not any ordinary river. Soon the trees part, and what stretches before you takes your breath. The river is wide but utterly calm, like a sheet of glass laid across the earth. Its surface reflects the sky so perfectly that you cannot tell where water ends and stars begin. Thousands of constellations stretch above, and the exact same stars shimmer beneath, flickering across the flowing mirror. When you step to its edge, it feels like standing at the seam between two skies, one overhead and one below, joined seamlessly at the horizon. The water does not rush, it does not churn. It shifts slowly, smoothly, carrying strands of moonlight across its skin. Sometimes a ripple bends the reflection of a star, elongating it into a dancing line. Sometimes the current gathers the shimmer into patterns that look like distant galaxies drifting past. The longer you gaze, the more impossible it is to distinguish earth from sky. It feels as though you have stumbled upon the very fabric of dreams themselves, flowing endlessly forward. You kneel gently at the water's edge, the moss still beneath your knees, softer than you would ever expect stone or soil here to be. You place your hand out toward the water. At first there is hesitation, you fear ripples may shatter this mirror of dreams. But when your fingertips finally touch the surface, something unexpected happens. The water feels cool, yes, but it does not ripple in ordinary ways. Instead, the touch seems to spread light rather than motion. Gently, golden white rings expand outward from the place of contact. They shine not like ordinary ripples, but like luminous circles, waves of light gliding across the mirror. You watch them expand, each ring merging into another, until the whole river seems to glow faintly under your touch. And then you notice your reflection in the water. At first, it shows what you expect. Yourself, gazing down, your face calm and softened by glow. But then the reflection begins to shift. Not grotesquely, not fearfully, only gently. The water reveals not what you see in ordinary mirrors, but what lives beneath. A version of you more at peace, years younger perhaps, freer, softer. The way you looked when laughter came without hesitation. You blink surprised. The reflection too blinks back gently. But rather than mimic you perfectly, it seems to reassure you, as if reminding you, I have always been here. I have always dwelled beneath the surface. I am simply waiting for you to remember me. The message settles into you without words. The river has become more than water. It is a mirror of memory, reflection, and dream. A surface that shows not how you appear, but how you feel, how you once felt, how you long to feel again. Around you, the night deepens yet never darkens. More fireflies gather on the banks, hovering lazily like golden embers. The willow tendrils above sway faintly in breeze, tracing soft arcs across the mirrored surface, but never disturbing its calm. You hear the occasional splash of a fish rising, the ripple of its movement scattering a constellation before the stars reform. Each sound is delicate, precise, another note in this gentle lullaby of water. You sit back on your heels and breathe. The air is cooler here, carrying the mist of water, cleansing with each inhale. You close your eyes, and the gentle burbling carries inside your body. You picture the river's surface smoothing across your thoughts. Every restless memory, every rushing worry, every tangle of unspoken thought, it feels as though the river is drawing them outward, pulling them gently across its calm skin, then dissolving them among the stars. You find yourself loosening more deeply than you knew possible. And then, as your eyes open again, you notice something hidden further downstream. At first it is only a glimmer, caught between the trees on the bank. A shimmer of silver, barely more than a whisper of starlight. Then, as you peer closer, you see that it is not a star. It is moving, flowing, interwoven with the water itself. This glow pulses gently, as though guiding the direction of current. Your path has not ended here at the shore. It is only changing. You rise slowly to your feet. The moss rises with you like a cushion, steady and effortless. Fireflies drift around your ankles as you begin moving along the bank. The river flows steadily at your side, stars above and stars below, its mirrored face endless. That silver glow ahead soon grows brighter. Curiosity warms in your chest, not sharp or restless, but soft and patient. The forest has brought you here with care, and so you follow. As you walk, the soft bank bends inward, guiding you toward that glow. Step after step, the sounds remain the same: gentle water carrying light, crickets still murmuring, nocturnal wings fluttering once or twice through shadow. Yet in the sameness, something in you shifts. You are lighter now, not only in body but in heart, as if all the heaviness of your world has slipped into the river behind you and been swept gently away. At last, you round a bend and you see it fully. The glow comes from a luminous arch stretching across the water, not made of wood nor stone, but of light itself. A bridge woven of drifting motes, star-silver currents that hover above the river's mirrored surface, almost like moonlight crystallized into form. It shimmers delicately yet holds presence, beckoning softly. And you realize this river is not only meant to be gazed upon, it is meant to be crossed. You stop at the foot of that bridge of light. The forest has brought you here not only to reflect, but to continue. And though you pause, though the weight of awe still hums in your chest, you understand this truth. When you take that next step, you are not only walking across a river, you are crossing deeper into the dreaming heart of the whispering forest itself. You stand at the foot of the luminous bridge, the river flowing calmly beside you, its mirrored surface stretching endlessly under a sky pricked with silver stars. The bridge itself gleams faintly with an otherworldly shimmer, almost fragile in appearance, but steady with some deeper strength you can feel humming beneath its glow. You take a slow breath. The air here is cooler, touched with mist from the water, carrying the scent of damp stone and fresh night. There is no rush, no voice urging you forward, and yet the pull is undeniable. Something calls from beyond, not loudly, but steadily, like the rhythm of a heartbeat waiting to align with your own. With care, you lift one foot and place it upon the bridge. At once, light ripples outward from the place where your soul meets the surface, circles of radiant silver spreading like rings through water. The bridge does not sway, nor does it shift. It cradles your step as gently as the moss of the forest floor. Despite its glowing transparency, it feels firm beneath you, strong enough to hold not only your weight, but the weight of every dream you have carried here. You take another step, then another. The river expands around you on either side, wide and glimmering. It is as though you are walking directly upon a ribbon of starlight stretched across the surface of the world. Every step adds more ripples of light, so that soon the bridge is alive with glowing circles that drift outward, colliding and merging until the entire river shimmers with luminous motion. And as you gaze down, something remarkable begins to happen. At first, the river reflects only the stars and your softened reflection looking back. But then, like a shifting painting, scenes begin to emerge. You see fragments of memory captured in the water, a childhood moment, perhaps your smaller self running freely, laughter echoing through an open field. A quiet afternoon where you felt at ease, sunlight pouring across your skin. A night long ago when someone's voice soothed you to sleep. They pass across the water gently, never forcing, never startling, as though the river has collected every tender memory, every restful fragment of your being, and laid them beneath your feet for safekeeping. You pause. The reflection slows. A single scene stays with you longer, yourself, perhaps not as you are, but as you hope to be, calmer, softer, radiant with ease. Your reflection smiles back. The smile is patient, knowing. It carries no demand, only reassurance. This is always within you. This river does not create what is false. It only reminds you of what you've forgotten to see. The sensation is disarming in its gentleness. Your chest loosens. The shoulders you thought had already relaxed somehow release further, as if discovering new depths of letting go. And so you continue forward. The further along the bridge you travel, the more vivid the river becomes. It is no longer simply reflection, it is song. The burble of water turns melodic, weaving itself into something almost like a voice, but not quite. You cannot decipher words, nor need to. You feel the meaning instead. It is the river singing to you. Let the world fall away. Let the burdens rest upon me. I will carry what you release. You have only to walk, to breathe, to surrender. The breeze shifts across you as you walk, stroking hair and cheek. The willows at the shore behind you whisper in farewell, their trailing leaves swaying like parting hands. Ahead, the opposite bank glimmers faintly, though you cannot yet make out what waits there. The bridge, however, does not end abruptly. Its current bends gently, guiding you deeper, carrying you as much forward as inward, leading not only across water, but across the veil into dream. Midway across, stars seem impossibly close. Some flicker overhead as though lowering themselves nearer to witness this crossing. Others seem to nestle into the water itself, glowing just beneath the surface, so close you could almost touch them. And for a moment you realize this. Perhaps you have not left the earth at all. Perhaps you walk across the skin of the sky itself, one world folded upon another. Your steps remain steady. Each one is a breath. Each one is calmer than the last. Your body feels both light and grounded, as though the weight of gravity no longer presses in the same way. You are not pushing forward. You are carried, surrounded, held. You glance downward again, and new images bloom in the water. Not memories this time, but possibilities, dreams still forming. You see landscapes vast and peaceful, a field of endless lavender swaying under a golden horizon, a wide lake mirroring pink dawn, a hidden cottage tucked beneath snow, warm light glowing in its windows. You see glimpses of journeys yet to come, not predictions, but invitations. The water shows not where you must go, but where you might wander if peace were the only compass you followed. Your reflection meets your eyes again. This time, there is laughter in it, not loud, not forced, but the quiet sparkle that comes when you know you are cared for, when you know rest is not a pause, but a home. Step by step, the other side of the river grows closer. On the far shore, the outline of trees rises, darker than the sky, their tips dusted with starlight. A faint glow pulses between them, softer than the blossoms of the tree you left behind, but equally inviting. Already you can hear new sounds, perhaps the whisper of flowing grass, or the low notes of a flute carried faintly on the night air, the promise of something waiting beyond. At last, your foot touches the final length of the bridge. Beneath you, the light ripples expand one more time, casting luminous waves all across the mirrored water. The entire river seems to sigh, as though satisfied, as though it too has rested. You pause on the final step and turn back. The river stretches endlessly behind you, glowing now with both starlight and the remnants of your walk across it. The circles of light still drift outward, carrying parts of you into silence. It feels almost like leaving behind echoes of yourself, echoes of burdens, echoes of weight, echoes of the day. All of them dissolve into the surface, kept safe by the river of reflections, so that you might continue lighter than when you arrived. When you finally turn forward again, the far bank is waiting. You step off the glowing bridge, onto earth soft with moss, warmed faintly by the glow ahead. Fireflies emerge again, their golden lanterns flickering across the path, greeting you like old friends returned for the next stage of your journey. The forest rises up once more, welcoming you into its arms with quiet certainty. For a moment, you linger at the shore. The river behind hums gently, like a lullaby echoing from water to air. Ahead, the forest holds its own rhythm, steady and calm, waiting to carry you deeper still. You realize you have crossed not only from one bank to another, but from reflection into release. Step by step, you have moved from the weight of memory into the freedom of dream, and the whispering forest has only just begun to unfold its wonders. The river fades behind you, its mirrored waters dimming as the fireflies lead you deeper into the night. As you step into this new stretch of path, you sense a widening. The forest around you begins to thin, its tall guardians of oak and pine spreading farther apart. Where once the branches intertwined to form tunnels and archways, they now reach skyward proudly, creating gaps that reveal more of the heavens above. The breeze shifts, carrying with it a new fragrance, wildflowers, sweet and delicate, sprinkled with the faint scent of grass still warm from the day. It's a smell of openness, of freedom. You follow the moss-lined path until suddenly the trees give way entirely, and you emerge from the forest into a vast expanse. Before you lies a meadow that stretches both far and wide, an ocean of grass and blossoms swaying in the rhythm of the night air. The stems glint faintly under the moonlight, swaying silver green as though they, too, are woven from the fabric of dreams. The meadow seems endless, a rolling plain that curves with the earth, its horizons edged by faint shadows of mountains far away. Above it all, the sky reigns supreme. You've never seen it so vast. Without the grip of the treetops, the heavens open fully an infinite canvas of stars. They scatter across the dark in endless abundance, as though someone has tipped an ink-dark bowl of silver dust across the sky. The stars shine bright, sharp mirror, and strangely, they do not stay confined to the heavens alone. For as you look closer, you see them lying across the meadow itself. Tiny pinpricks of starlight glow among the blades of grass, like the earth has borrowed fragments of the sky. Some resemble fireflies, nestled close to the soil. Others gleam larger, pulsing faintly in rhythm, hovering slightly above the grass. They could be stars that have fallen gently into rest here, or perhaps are roots of constellations planted deep in the soil of this meadow. Together they sparkle everywhere, above, around, beneath, till you cannot entirely tell where sky ends and earth begins. You step forward cautiously, almost reverently, as if afraid to disturb the infinite, but the stars beneath your feet do not dim. On the contrary, they pulse gently at your approach, welcoming your presence. A few even drift upward, rising lazily through the air like dandelion seeds turned to light. They float around you and then settle back, their glow undisturbed. Your body loosens at the sight. It feels as though you've wandered to the center of eternity, where time has spilled open and scattered its stars for you alone to walk among. The grass here is remarkable. As the night wind bends it, waves ripple like the surface of a lake. When you trail your fingertips along the tops of stalks, a faint shimmer follows, as though the stars embedded there rub off gently onto your skin. Looking closely, you notice clusters of blossoms nestled among the stems. Some are pale lavender, others soft blue, all luminescent. They radiate a light so tender that it seems designed only for quiet places like this, where no footstep is heavy and no heart hurries. A slow sigh escapes you without effort. The meadow feels like it breathes with you. When you inhale, the stars brighten faintly. When you exhale, the grass bows and the meadow hums softly, aligned to your rhythm. It is as though you are no longer walking alone. You and the meadow form a duet, a shared heartbeat across time. You wander softly across the expanse, guided not by a set path but by instinct. The stars glow thickest in patches, creating little islands of glimmer. You pause at one of these and lie back gently, letting your body sink into the grass. It is not prickly. Instead, it molds around you, soft as brushed velvet, cool against your skin. The stars beneath you continue to glow, so that even the earth itself feels lit from beneath. As you recline, the night sky above stretches wider still. With no branches to frame it, the heavens seem impossibly endless. Constellations dot themselves across your view, some familiar, others strange. A shooting star cranes bright across the darkness, trailing silver for a breath before disappearing beyond the horizon. Another follows, and another. This is not a rare occurrence here, but a natural constant. Falling stars are as plentiful as petals drifting in a summer breeze. They streak above silently, never startling, always graceful. Each trail of light feels like a promise whispered by the universe. A promise that nothing is lost, only transformed, that all endings bend back into beginnings. You watch one after another until the sky is alive with motion silver arcs gliding one way, gold flickers the other, their trails crisscrossing like threads in an unseen tapestry. Your body sinks deeper into the grass, every muscle surrendering to the earth. You notice the peculiar sensation that comes here in places of timelessness, a softness in your mind, where thoughts lose their sharpness and become round, slow, drifting things. You think of days pass, but their edges blur. You think of tomorrow, but it has no urgency. Even time has laid itself down to rest in this meadow. For a while, you simply breathe. The stars above keep falling, endlessly generous. The stars beneath continue glowing, endlessly tender. You are cocooned in a dome of shining calm, a sky below and a sky above, with your body as anchor in between. You close your eyes for a moment. Even then, the stars remain. Their imprints linger on your lids, tiny pulses of light that drift in rhythmic patterns. They almost seem to form gentle shapes as you drift toward stillness. Maybe faces from memory, maybe places you once loved. Maybe dreams not yet realized, but waiting for you. You cannot hold them, nor must you. They arrive in fragments only to dissolve into the hush. The soundscape here is just as delicate as the light. The wind breathes steadily across the grass, creating soft rustlings like thousands of whispered sighs layered together. Sometimes the notes lift higher, catching across blossoms so that the meadow almost hums like a great instrument played by the sky itself. Somewhere distant, a night bird sends out a single cry mellow low. An answering call follows, then stillness resumes. The entire place sings one prolonged lullaby. Lying there, every part of you softens further. Your mind stretches with the sky, your breath folds with the wind, your spirit aligns with the shimmer beneath you. You feel infinite and small at once, like a cluster of stars yourself, humbled but whole in the expanse. For every shooting star you watch, you imagine the meadow catching it tenderly in its grasses below. Perhaps that is why these lights glow underfoot. The soil has caught centuries of falling stars and gently rooted their brightness into its roots. And now you lie among them, cradled in a meadow that holds both history and eternity, gathered into one timeless breath. And as you drift deeper into this surrender, you realize something simple and profound. Here, in this meadow of endless night, there is no destination. Only the endless act of resting in wonder, moment after moment, allowing the night to wrap its starlit shawl around you. This meadow is eternal. Yet tonight, it is also entirely yours. The meadow holds you in its embrace as you lie among the glowing grasses. Time does not move here, not in the way you once knew it. The stars continue to fall above like endless silver rain, and the stars below glow steadily, never dimming. The hush is deep, steady, alive, like a wide heartbeat spread across the entire field. You could remain here endlessly, gazing into this twin sky until every thought dissolved. But as always in the whispering forest, the journey continues, not with urgency, but with invitation. The meadow itself begins to stir, as though it has noticed your presence and wishes to greet you more fully. It begins with a rustle beside you. You turn your head slightly, expecting perhaps a breeze, but the wind has slowed. What rises instead from the glowing grass is a figure soft, luminous, delicate. Not fully an animal, not fully light, but something in between. At first the form is hazy, a cluster of twinkling pinpricks woven together into a gentle shape. Then it settles, and you recognize the outline. A stag stands near you, tall and proud, woven entirely from starlight. Its antlers stretch like branching constellations, each tip glowing white gold. Its body glimmers faintly, as though spun from mist caught against a lantern. The stag's eyes are gentle, patient, and possibly calm. It does not startle you. You are not afraid. You feel only awe in the warmth of its presence. The stag lowers its head gracefully, acknowledging you without sound, as though saying, "You are seen. You are welcome here." As it lifts its head again, its antlers gleam brighter. You notice trails of light spilling from them, forming faint paths across the meadow rivers of soft glow, guiding deeper into the grasses. The stag takes a single step and pauses, glancing back softly toward you. It is not forcing, not commanding, only inviting, as if offering, "When you are ready, we may walk together." You rise slowly from the place where you rested, leaving behind the impression of your body in the glowing grasses. The stars cling faintly to your clothing, scattering like gentle dust as you stand, as though the meadow itself has kissed you with its blessings. The stag begins to walk. Its hooves make no sound upon the ground, but wherever it steps, the grasses it touches glow brighter for a moment before dimming again. You follow closely, your own feet brushing through stalks that sigh quietly at your presence. Together you cross the expanse, and as you walk, more shapes emerge from the starry meadow. From one patch of grass, a fox unfurls itself, slender and elegant, its tail a sweeping brush of silver sparks. From another curve, an owl rises silently, its wings cutting through the air in slow, steady arcs, leaving drifting trails of glowing motes behind. These creatures, too, are woven from light, born of the meadow stars. They move gracefully, not confined to flesh or bone, but rather existing as living constellations walking the earth. They do not speak aloud. Yet as you walk at their side, you feel their presence as languid, soft reassurance woven into your heart without words. The fox carries curiosity and play, reminding you of joy. The owl holds wisdom, reminding you of perspective. The stag carries steadiness, reminding you of calm. Each one a companion, each one a piece of the night given form to walk beside you. The meadow opens still further, rolling into a central hollow. Here the starlight gathers thickly, brighter than anywhere else. Above, the sky blooms with falling trails, hundreds of them crossing at once in an endless weave. Below, the grasses glow so brightly, they almost resemble a flowing river of silver light across the earth. And at the center of it all, there lies something round, smooth, radiant. The stag pauses at the edge of this hollow. The fox curls at your feet. The owl circles once overhead, then perches silently upon the curve of a branch nearby, watching. In the hollow's center rests a stone, but not any ordinary stone. It is a sphere, smooth as glass, gleaming brighter than the fallen stars scattered across meadow or sky. You approach carefully. The glow of the stone is not blinding. It is warm, welcoming. Drawing near, you realize the sphere is not stone at all, but crystal, perfectly smooth, perfectly round. Within its heart shimmer countless lights, constellations, small and intricate, as though it contains yet another sky inside itself. It is a world within a world, a hidden universe captured in a single sleeping pearl. You kneel beside it. When you do, the sphere hums softly. The vibration is not of sound, but of presence. Its hum moves through the meadow, joins with the owl, flows through the fox, aligns with the stag. And then you feel it enter you low at first, then rising steadily until your heartbeat aligns with it. The hum does not override your rhythm, it joins it. A harmony formed between you and the night itself. You rest your hands lightly upon the sphere. Instantly, warmth spreads through your arms, into your chest, filling your whole body. The glow wraps around you in spirals, weaving through your veins like weightless thread. You exhale slowly, realizing tension you didn't even know you carried has melted. The meadow's song, the sphere's hum, The stars light, everything aligns now, folded together into one endless lullaby. For a while, you simply rest there with it. Every breath you take seems to draw light into you. Every exhale sends old weight away. The stag bows its great head as if to honor this. The fox nudges its luminous nose against your leg with playful trust. The owl's eyes gleam knowingly from its branch, eyes like polished gems. As you continue to hold the crystal sphere, visions flutter faintly within it, fleeting, dreamlike, vanishing almost before they form, a child laughing freely, a pathway of blossoms stretching endlessly, a sky where the stars align into words you feel but do not need to read. Each image is gentle, transient, dissolving like autumn leaves on water. You understand they are not commands, not demands, only reflections. Fragments of joy shone lightly to remind you that life carries softness even in quiet corners. When you finally release your hands, the glow lingers in you. The sphere remains radiant, continuing to hum softly. The meadow is deeply calm now, its vastness no longer intimidating but comforting, as if you and the night have merged and cannot separate. The stag steps forward again, brushing past you, and lowers his shining head near to yours. You meet its gaze. Its eyes are entire nights distilled into warmth, and you feel gratitude radiating through this creature, gratitude for your presence, gratitude for your willingness to walk here. The meadow does not crowd you. It does not rush. But slowly, the creatures begin to drift back into light. The fox curls upon itself and dissolves into the grass like sparks drawn downward. The owl, with a single wide sweep of wings, becomes a trail of stars arching back into the sky. Even the stag slowly fades, its antlers dispersing into constellations until only a gentle afterglow remains. And though they vanish, you feel no loneliness. Their presence has become part of you now, stitched quietly into the weave of your breath and heart. You are left standing in the center of the meadow's hollow, the glowing sphere humming peacefully near your side. Above, stars fall endlessly. Around you, grasses sing with the slow hymn of the wind. Within, the hush has now reached its deepest level, a lullaby so profound that sleep itself feels like the next natural step. You exhale. You are at peace. The meadow of timeless stars has shown you its heart, and it whispers the truth only such a place could hold. You belong among the stars, and they belong among you.
The meadow lingers behind you, glowing softly as though its stars will light your path no matter how far you wander. With one last glance at the crystal sphere and the infinite sky that surrounded it, you turn forward once more. The forest edge rises again, welcoming, its trunks standing like guardians of some deeper truth within. The path waiting here is narrower, woven from silver moss that glows faintly underfoot. It stretches ahead through arching branches, their leaves shimmering as if dusted with frost, though the air is warm. With every step you take past the meadow, silence deepens, but it is not emptiness. It is a deliberate, sacred quiet, poised, patient, an expectant hush as though the very forest holds its breath, waiting for you. Soon the trees part again, but this time not into a meadow nor into water. Instead, they reveal a glade unlike any place. You have known. You have arrived at the heart of the whispering forest, the Dreamkeeper's sanctuary. At first sight, it seems carved out of twilight itself. The sanctuary is a wide hollow, ringed with ancient trees whose trunks are vast, gnarled, but alive with light that pulses faintly through their bark like veins of silver. Their branches knit high above, enclosing the space like a cathedral of wood and star. The ceiling of this cathedral is not solid but woven through with openings round. Windows where the sky spills in, offering glimpses of constellations arranged exactly above this sacred place. The ground here is astonishing. It's layered in thick moss, soft enough to give beneath your weight as though you are walking across clouds. In between the moss rise delicate flowers, glowing blue, white, and gold, their petals trembling gently although no wind disturbs them. Every blossom seems to breathe with you, opening, closing, pulsing until the whole sanctuary resembles a living body at rest. And at the very center of the glade, there is a pool, not wide nor deep, but perfectly round. The surface gleams like polished glass, reflecting not only the sky above, but something more a depth within that feels infinite. Around this pool lie smooth stones, aligned in a perfect circle, each stone carved as though with hands, though no hand of man could have ever shaped them. They glow softly, forming an eternal boundary between the world outside and the dream world within. You step forward, drawn instinctively toward the pool, with each step in its direction. Your body seems lighter, your thoughts quieter, your breath slower, and then before you a presence begins to rise. From the still mirror of the pool, ripples spread outward, rings of light expanding across the surface, just as they did when you stepped upon the river's reflection. But this time, instead of dissolving into water, the ripples gather upward, shaping themselves into a figure. First faint light, then form. The figure takes shape slowly, patiently. It is neither man nor woman, neither young nor old. It wears a mantle of flowing shadow, embroidered with stars that twist and twinkle inside its folds. Its hair, or perhaps its crown, glimmers faintly with strands of silver light. Its face is unreadable, both familiar and strange, like glimpses of every kindness you have ever known carried within a single gaze. But its eyes... its eyes are unmistakable. They are twin universes, holding the depth of galaxies in their patient glow. The Dreamkeeper has arrived. You feel no fear. On the contrary, you feel your muscles slacken, as though this spirit has reached inside and loosened every knot, every tightness, every duty clinging to you. The Dreamkeeper raises a hand, not commanding, merely offering. Around its hand swirl motes of soft gold, like drifting dust in sunlight. You instinctively step closer. No words are spoken, but you understand. Words are too sharp, too waking. Here only presence speaks. The Dreamkeeper turns, lowering one hand toward the pool. At once, the entire sanctuary responds. The flowers bend slightly, their glowing blossoms nodding in unison. The trunks of the ancient trees pulse. Brighter, silver veins throbbing in gentle time, and above, through the windowed canopy, the constellations shimmer as though bowing downward toward the center. The Dreamkeeper motions for you to kneel by the pool. You do. The moss cushions your legs, the polished stones steady your balance. The pool gleams brighter now, its stillness so deep you feel it hum against your chest. The Dreamkeeper lowers its other hand toward you, and without hesitation, you place your palm against its light. Instantly, warmth flows through your body. The sensation is unlike any blanket, any fire, any touch you have known. It is warmth of memory, of rest, of safety, of all the moments in which life embraced rather than demanded. The warmth courses into your veins, spreading to fingertips, shoulders, spine, reaching even the corners of your thoughts, quieting everything. The Dreamkeeper gestures again to the pool. You lean forward slightly, gazing into the water. At first you see your reflection, as you did at the River of Reflections. But now it is different. This is not a reminder of your past, nor of possibility. This is the reflection of what you are right now, softer than the mirror would normally show, luminous around its edges. Your eyes glowing faintly with starlight given by the meadow, by the river, by the glowing tree. This is you within the whispering forest, unburdened, unguarded, whole. You exhale. The water ripples faintly, soft, circles spreading outward from your breath. And for a moment you lose sense of boundary, whether the reflection is of you, the Dreamkeeper, or something greater. Stillness settles thickly, deeper than ever before. The sanctuary is utterly silent, save the faint hum of the glowing trees, the sigh of moss beneath you as though it too breathes. The Dreamkeeper lowers its head gently, closing its eyes. You understand instinctively. This is the place of release, the sanctuary at the very center of dreams. Here is where wanderers may finally surrender. Every ounce of the day, every echo of mind, every fragment of worry. You are not asked to do anything, only to be, to lay down your burden as naturally as fallen leaves lay down before winter snow. You close your eyes with the Dreamkeeper. You do not need to speak. The silence here speaks enough, and as the hum of the forest folds around you, you realize something sweet, something solemn, something profound. You have reached the sanctuary where waking ends and true rest begins. The Dreamkeeper remains still beside the pool of light, patient and unhurried, though this figure carries the weight of countless ages. Its presence is not heavy, it is lighter than wind, softer than candle flame, yet as steady as the deep roots of trees that have seen centuries. You kneel near the glowing water, its mirrored surface breathing gently. The world beyond this sanctuary feels impossibly far away now, as though you've walked not just beyond time and place, but beyond the need for either. Here in the sanctuary only rest remains. The pool ripples faintly again, though no stone has disturbed it. The ripples seem to emerge from you as if every breath you draw gives shape to its calm waves. You notice how it reflects not just your body, but your very spirit. A figure wrapped in light, shaped by the paths you have walked through this forest, the glowing tree, the river's reflection, the meadow of stars all gathered here, now within you. The Dreamkeeper extends its hands again. Slowly, very slowly, the figure cups the air above the pool, as though gathering invisible threads. Then it lowers its hands toward you. Within its palms rests a sphere of faint light, a gift born of the forest itself. You hardly need to ask what it means. Without words, you understand. This is sleep. This is dream, collected in form, ready to be offered to you. The Dreamkeeper leans gently closer. You watch as the light in its hands begins to dissolve. The golden motes scatter into the air, floating down onto your shoulders, your chest, your hair. Each mote that touches you melts into skin, heavy and sweet, not like a burden, but like a weighted blanket that comforts, presses, and soothes. Soon your entire body is dusted with the Dreamkeeper's gift, softened by dream starlight. Your eyelids grow heavy, yet strangely it is not the heaviness of exhaustion. It is the heaviness of ease, of permission finally given. Your body feels like it is sinking not into soil, not into stone, but into the arms of something infinitely kind. The Dreamkeeper lowers its head once more. Its constellated cloak sways lightly, spilling threads of stars down into the moss where they fade quietly. In its silence, you feel words not spoken but resting upon your heart like dew. Sleep is safe here. Sleep is welcome here. Sleep is not an absence but a gift. Sleep is a return to yourself. The words dissolve into feeling, and the feeling dissolves into breath. You inhale, and every corner of you expands with luminous calm. You exhale, and whatever fragments of the day still linger slip soundlessly into the pool and vanish. The sanctuary answers your surrender. The flowers bloom wider, their petals glowing stronger for a moment, rejoicing silently before dimming back to their steady pulse. The great ancient trunks around you hum faintly, an eternal low note, as though the forest itself hums you to sleep. Above, the constellations shine bright, then blur, then soften until they look less like stars and more like gently flickering candles against velvet. The Dreamkeeper moves slowly behind you. You feel not weight, but presence, an ancient hand pressing lightly to your back, urging you deeper downward. The moss beneath sighs, adjusting for you, making itself even softer, cushioning every joint, every curve of your body. You lie fully down now, stretched across the living floor of the sanctuary. Your head sinks into moss that feels like the gentlest pillow. The glow of the pool flickers faintly across your skin, a wavering reflection that seems to cradle you like water without wetness. Every part of you is perfectly supported. Above, the forest's canopy sways lightly in a breeze you barely feel. A star slips behind an opening, then another, forming constellations that seem stitched for your eyes alone. You could watch them endlessly, but your eyelids grow weighted. Each blink drifts longer than the last, every closing becoming harder to undo. Soon, the effort to open them will fade entirely. The Dreamkeeper kneels nearby, silent and vast, yet endlessly gentle. You sense it not as a figure now, not as a shape, but as a guardian in energy, alone, an eternal watch at your side. Without word, it promises, rest and I will remain, sleep and I will watch, dream and you will be safe. The moss beneath you deepens further, as though lowering you onto a raft, drifting slowly along invisible currents. You are floating while still held, grounded while adrift. The blur between worlds becomes seamless, and so the transition begins. At first, you remain aware of your breath, the sanctuary's hum, the occasional shimmer of constellations above. But these soon soften. The stars blur together into a misty glow. The hum lowers until it is not sound, but vibration. Your breath is no longer effort, you are being breathed, as if the forest inhales for you, as if the Dreamkeeper exhales on your behalf. Thoughts, should they try to visit, cannot linger. One thought appears a trace of the day, but it melts before it takes form, dissolving into a river you cannot follow. Another appears, a question, but it too is folded by soft light, smoothed like cloth and tucked away neatly. And soon there are no thoughts left, only the hush, only the cradle of moss beneath, only the unseen current drifting you deeper inward. The Dreamkeeper's presence hovers once more at your side. Perhaps it places a hand across your forehead, or perhaps it is only the thought of a hand. Either way, it feels real, a soothing pressure across your brow, pulling heaviness downward, signaling to the body at last, it is time. Then, slowly, even the pool's glow dims. It's mirrored. Waters fade into stillness so perfect they appear to vanish. The sanctuary folds you in. The stars above close their eyes. The forest lowers its voice into pure silence. And at last, so quietly, so gently you cross. Here, in the very heart of the whispering forest of dreams, Sleep finds you not as a falling, not as a surrender, but as the natural next step of breath. You do not chase it. You are already within it. The Dreamkeeper lowers its head in blessing. The sanctuary holds you in quiet eternity. The forest hums, and hums, and hums, until even the hum itself becomes part of your dream. Now you drift, rest cradles you, silence surrounds you. The stars and the soil and the watcher beside you all fold away. It is only you and sleep. It is only this moment and rest and peace. And finally, good night.